second reading, aiming to reform Nigeria's struggling power sector and close critical regulatory gaps in the existing 2023 Act. The bill, which was sponsored by Senator Naya Abaribe, Abia State South, seeks to enhance oversight, strengthen penalties, and clarify the roles of stakeholders, particularly in the wake of recent constitutional reforms. The chairman Senate Committee on Power Sector, Abaribe, who led the debate, warned that the power sector is tottering on the brink of collapse due to deep-rooted inefficiencies and chronic financial mismanagement. It disclosed that the federal government outstanding debt in the sector has exceeded 4 trillion naira, highlighting the need for urgent legislative interventions. The National Examination Council has announced the release of the 2025 Basic Education Certificate Examination result. According to a statement by the Acting Director of Public Affairs of the examination body, Aziz Sani, a total of 179,201 candidates registered for the examination in 12 subjects. The examination, which commenced on May 12, 2025, was concluded on May 23, 2025. The statement added that the results of the examination were released following the successful conclusion of the 2025 Becker Award Committee meeting held at the Council headquarters in Minna. The National Youth Service Corps has expressed concerns over the increasing rate at which the Corps members are being rejected by the assigned employers. The Director General of the NYSC, Brigadier General Olakunle Nafiu, raised the issue today in Jos during the 2025 annual NYSC Corps Employers Workshop. Represented by Mrs. Bamisola Salami, the NYSC Deputy Director for the North Central Zone, Nafiu emphasized that the Corps members played a crucial role in shaping the overall experience of the Corps members during their service year. Nafiu, however, lamented that the rising number of cases where employers reject Corps members often prevent them from gaining valuable experience at those establishments. Federal Capital Territory Administration (FCTA) has begun removing street beggars, traders, miscreants, and other social nuisance from Abuja following a directive from FCT Minister Esom Wike. The operation, tagged Operation Sweep Abuja, is being carried out by a joint task force involving security agencies and relevant authorities. According to the minister's spokesman, Lere Olayinka, today, the exercise aims to restore order, enhance security, and uphold the capital's image. It stated that apprehended individuals will be profiled and returned to their home state. The FCTA emphasized that Abuja must not be in heaven for criminal elements disguised as beggars or scavengers. The 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has denied meeting former head of state, the late General Sani Abacha, clarifying his relationship with the late ruler. In a post on X today, Obi released an official appointment letter from 1996 to debunk allegation that he worked for the military leader. Recall, Abacha ruled Nigeria from 1993 until his death in 1998, and his regime was criticized for widespread human rights violation, suppression of dissent, and large-scale looting of public funds. Many critics had accused Obi of secretly collaborating with the Abacha regime, but the former Anambra State governor received a document appointing him to a federal government task force on port decongestion. A former secretary to the government of the Federation, Babashir Lawal, has said that some governors and top members of the All Progressive Congress are quietly supporting an opposition coalition ahead of the 2027 election. Lawal, who served under the ex-president Muhammadu Buhari during his first term, revealed this during an interview yesterday. He said that although these people have not spoken publicly, they believe in the coalition plan to remove the current government.
But there are, of course, I know many that we are going together. Some might not be brave or bold enough to do it the way I've done it. And I had my own reasons for going public with it, and they might have their own reasons for being silent, going quietly without noise, like people like us. But there are many, extremely many. Some tell me that, including some governors.
Recall that Lawal resigned from the ruling party on June 29 and had been working against the APC from within a long time because the party was full of intimidation and does not allow free speech. To the aviation sector, barely days after resigning as the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress (APC), Abdullahi Umar Ganduje has been appointed chairman of the Board of Federal Airport Authorities of Nigeria (FAN). The announcement was made during the formal inauguration of the newly appointed FAN board members in Abuja. Ganduje resigned from the ruling party exalted position last week, citing urgent and personal matters. He has since been replaced by Ali Bukar Dalori as the APC's national chairman. Meanwhile, in Oyo State, the government said it has procured 2 aircraft to curb the menace of illegal miners, kidnappers, and other security threats in the state. This was disclosed in a statement signed by the Commissioner for Information, Prince Dotun Oyelade, after the weekly State Executive Council meeting. Dotun noted that the procurement was approved in a renewed determination by the government to secure the state further from influx of bandits and the perpetration of their enterprise. According to the commissioner, the council noted that though Oyo State enjoys relative peace compared to other states in the federation, the government will not be complacent because there were still pockets of kidnapping and banditry going on in the parts of the state. You're still listening to News Express on Adamimogo 107.7 FM Ido-Ekiti. Coming up next, Governor Oluwabiyi seeks NADDC collaboration for automotive investment in Ekiti State. Please stay with us.
In the month of August 2025, as God will be using his anointed servant, Prophet Sam Oluwalo Baba Adamimogo, and many other great anointed men of God, many spiritual singers will be ministering in song as well. Venue, CAC, Grace of Mercy Prayer Mountain, Adamimogo, Jesus City, Ilamija Village, Lekki Epe Expressway, Lagos State. For one-on-one counseling with Prophet Sam Oluwalo, register at JesusCityRadio.com. Show mercy of David. Don't miss it.
Welcome back and thanks for joining us again. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook via Adamimogo 107.7 FM. For updates around you on news inquiries, please contact our newsroom on this number 0915 786 8095. Now to the rest of the news. Ekiti State Governor Biodun Oyèbánjí has expressed the state government's readiness to partner with the National Automotive Design and Development Council (NADDC) to further explore investment opportunities that will better the lives of the citizen. Oyèbánjí described the automotive sector as a critical pillar of economic growth, technological advancement, and sustainable development. The governor, represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Professor Abibat Adabairo, spoke today during the opening of the 3-day 2025 Strategic Management Retreat of NADDC with the theme Fostering Creativity and Innovation for Continuous Performance Improvement, holding at Ikogosi Warm Spring Resort, Ikogosi, Ekiti. The Lagos State Police Command has announced a total restriction of vehicular movement across the state on Saturday, July 12, 2025, in connection with the scheduled local government elections. According to a statement issued today, the restrictions will be in effect from 3 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the same day and will apply to all roads and waterways within Lagos State. The command clarified that the restriction is aimed at ensuring the security and smooth conduct of the elections. However, exemptions have been made for certain categories of individuals and services. These include personnel involved in medical and other emergencies, as well as accredited officials of the Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission (LISEC), accredited elections observers, and journalists covering the elections. Human rights activist Omoyele Sowore has said that the policemen in the ranks and file of the Nigerian police force are ready to down tools on July 21 in protest against their poor remuneration. Sowore, the 2023 presidential candidate of the African Action Congress (AAC), stated this today in a televised interview. According to him, the affected policemen whose salaries made them as good as unemployed picked the date for the protest.
I mentioned earlier that an average senator takes home 30 million naira per month. But the senator can't leave home except they're accompanied by the police. So why is it that senators are taking home 30 million per month and the policeman can't earn 500,000 naira per month? What is 500,000 really? Maybe about $300 a month.
It further urged Nigerians, especially celebrity entertainers who is said enjoy the protection of the affected policemen, to support the protest. Still with the law enforcement agencies, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control (NAFDAC) has uncovered a large-scale illegal operation involving the sale and distribution of fake and hazardous substance in the Alakbere area of Ketu, Lagos. In a statement issued by the agencies, NAFDAC revealed that the operation led to the arrest of multiple suspects and this sealing of 3 warehouses stocked with dangerous and unapproved materials. Director of Investigation and Enforcement at NAFDAC, Martins Iluyomade, briefed newsmen on the development, stating that the raid was carried out based on credible intelligence regarding a criminal syndicate engaged in food and chemical counterfeiting on a massive scale. According to Iluyomade, the seized items included expired food flavors, fake chemicals, unauthorized fertilizers, and pharmaceutical raw materials that had been illegally repackaged for sale. Similarly, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) has secured the conviction of 146 out of 194 foreigners arrested for cybersecurity attacks relating to financial crimes in the country. The chairman of the EFCC, Mr. Ola Olukoyede, disclosed this today at the Abuja Continental Hotel during the opening ceremony of the International Cybersecurity Conference organized by the National Information Technology Development (NITDA). He said the majority of the foreigners posed as Nigerians with stolen identities to defraud unsuspecting individuals and institutions in the country, while Nigerians are being accused wrongly for such crimes. To business stories, Africa's richest man and president of the Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, has penned an open letter to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, commending his administration's infrastructural strides and visionary leadership. The letter, shared by presidential spokesperson Bayo Onanuga, highlights Tinubu's transformative projects, notably the Bar Beach land reclamation in Victoria Highland and the development of Atlantic City, which have significantly mitigated flooding issues and spurred economic growth. Dangote lauded the Atlantic City initiative, describing it as a modern urban development protected by a 8.5 kilometer seawall safeguarding Victoria Island from coastal erosion. He emphasized that the project has turned a once flood-prone coastline into a thriving district, attracting investment and enhancing the quality of life for residents. For more business stories, Ayomide Surulere is standing by.
On business news this evening, the National Identification Number (NIN) database being managed by the National Identity Management Commission (NIMC) grew by 20% to 120 million in June 2025 from 100 million recorded as of December 2023. The development was reviewed by the Commission, which said the NIN database grew by 7 million in the first half of 2025 as it races to register 95% of Nigerians by year end. To meet its target of enrolling 95% of Nigerians by the end of this year, NIMC is deploying youth corps members to cover hitherto unreachable areas through its World Enrollment Initiative. NIMC Director General and Chief Executive Officer Abisoye Koka Odunsote asserted that the World Enrollment exercise, when completed, would allow the government to know the actual number of Nigerians and make it easy to plan effectively for the citizens. Still on the business news, Nigeria and 3 other West African cocoa producing countries are likely to see a fresh 10% output decline in the upcoming 2025/2026 season, despite marginally improved weather conditions. According to reports, production had faced 2 successive below-average harvests below the latest projection. Ivory Coast and Ghana, the world's 2 leading producers, along with Nigeria and Cameroon, account for over 2/3 of global cocoa exports. The countries, however, struggle with shifting weather patterns, aging tree stocks, disease, and destructive small-scale gold mining. That's all on the business news. I'm Ayomide Surulere. Good evening.
On foreign, Pope Leo hosts peace talks with Ukraine's Zelensky. Joel Ogboe has the story.
Welcome to the foreign scene. President Donald Trump has called on the U.S. Supreme Court's June order limiting the ability of federal judges to use nationwide injunctions to block his policies. According to reports, the Supreme Court's decision curtailed the ability of judges to issue so-called universal injunctions that can stop the government from enforcing a policy against anyone, anywhere in the entire country. It was gathered that in the short time since the ruling, lower court judges have already blocked Trump's asylum ban at the U.S.-Mexico border, preventing his administration from ending temporary deportations. Report also says that one of the biggest tests of the impact of the Supreme Court's ruling on Trump will come tomorrow, when a federal judge in New Hampshire will consider whether to prevent Trump's executive order curtailing birthright citizenship from taking effect nationally on July 27th. Still on the foreign scene, Pope Leo has told visiting Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky today that the Vatican is willing to host Russian-Ukraine peace talks. This was announced in a statement today by the Vatican. According to the statement, the meeting was held in Castel Gandolfo, a small Italian hill town not far from Rome, where the Pope is taking a 2-week vacation. Report says that this was the second time of the Pope meeting with the Ukraine leader in his 2-month-old papacy, as he discussed with him on the urgent need for a just and lasting peace. Gathering from reports, the Ukrainian leader is in Italy to attend a 2-day conference from July 10 to 11th, dedicated to Ukraine's recovery and long-term reconstruction following Russia's invasion. That's all on the foreign scene. My name is Joel Ogboe.
On entertainment news, Davido Slam Stroll surprises fan with business support. Jemima Fateye has the story.
Welcome to Entertainment News. American singer Billie Eilish has strongly condemned Israel's defense minister Israel Katz's plan to move all Palestinians in Gaza into a camp on the ruins of the city of Rafah. Katz had told the press on Monday that he had instructed the military to advance plans for the establishment of a humanitarian city to initially house about 600,000 Palestinians and eventually the whole 2.1 million population. Reacting, Eilish described the Israeli minister's plan as horrific. She shared a screenshot of the news report via her Instagram page with the caption "horrifying." Still on entertainment, music star Davido has hit back at online trolls after a critic made a personal attack on his family in a bid to ridicule the Grammy-nominated singer. While one fan tried to advise him to ignore the troll, Davido, clearly frustrated, reacted sharply and even threatened to unfollow her. However, after the fan apologized and explained her good intentions, Davido softened his stance. In a surprising turn of events, he offered to support her by helping her set up a shop. And that's all on entertainment. My name is Jemima Fateye.
On sport, NNL commends referee's performance in Super 8 playoffs. Bayo Babalola is standing by.
Good evening and welcome to Sports Updates. The Nigerian National League (NNL) has expressed satisfaction with officiating at the ongoing Super 8 playoffs. NNL chairman George Aluo made the expression in a chat with the media in Asaba. Aluo urged the referees to maintain their standard until the final day of the competition. According to the chairman, the young referees have done a great job. Many of them were recognized with monthly awards during the regular season. Yobe Desert Stars and Osun United currently top the groups A and B respectively, with the final group games scheduled for Thursday, July 9, that is today. Still on sports, former head coach of the Nigerian men's national team, the Tigers, Mike Brown, has expressed his optimism following his appointment as coach of NBA's Eastern Conference franchise, New York Knicks. The 55-year-old American, who was relieved of his role in charge of the Sacramento Kings, was officially appointed to be the 32nd head coach in the Knicks franchise history, signing a 4-year deal reported to be worth around $40 million. He emerged as a favored pick after the Knicks conducted a wide-ranging search interviewing several high-profile candidates including Taylor Jenkins, Micah Nori, James Borrego, and even opened negotiations with women's NCAA legend Dawn Staley. During his introductory press conference at the team's practice facility in Tarrytown, Barry expressed that no one had higher expectations than he had. He emphasized that his expectations were high, noting the iconic status of Madison Square Garden and stating that he was looking forward to the experience. And that's all on Sports Updates. My name is Bayo Babalola.
With those sports stories, we end this edition of News Express on Adamimogo 107.7 FM in Duekiti. Before we go, the highlights again. We told you that the Nigerian Railway Corporation (NRC) says the federal government has begun reconstruction and rehabilitation of the Eastern Railway Corridor. We also brought to you that the National Examination Council has announced the release of the 2025 Basic Education Certificate Examination results. And we finally told you that Ekiti State Governor Biodun Oyebanji has expressed the state government's readiness to partner with the National Automotive Design and Development Council (NADDC) to further explore investment opportunities that will better the lives of the citizen. That's News Express on Adamimogo 107.7 FM, Olojudo's Palace.